Hello everyone, and welcome to The Influential Life. I am your host, Shadana Miranda. Here on The Influential Life, we inspire and encourage women to live a life of passion and purpose so that they experience a sense of self-fulfillment. So we are going into a new year, and we are jumping into how can we declutter our lives and prepare for a new year, which is very important. So this is going to be a 4-part series, and this is part 1 of the 4-part series. And today we'll be talking about how can you design your vision for 2021. And I have a prosperity expert with me, Martha Villegas. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, that's
yes,
right.
Perfect. I'm practicing my Espanol. And so she is going to be teaching us about how we can design our vision. So Martha, if you want to let our viewers know a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Yeah, for sure. So, my name's Martha Villegas. I'm native Houstonian, grew up here, and I'm a real estate investor. I also have a passion for self-help, for anything to do with just, living your best life. And I've studied it for almost 10 years, just the topics about abundance and mindset. And I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
let's get started. So what does it mean to design your life? That can be a broad topic, but what does that really mean?
Yeah, I think so many of us, go through our lives like unconsciously, like on autopilot, just, living our lives day by day, not really with intention. So I think one of the things I believe is to live a life with intention, with purpose behind it, knowing that, hey, like this is your one life. You get to create it, whatever it is you want. And I think living, like having a vision for your life is simply just knowing what it is that you want and like setting a plan and backing it up with like actions that it's going to get you towards your goals.
I like that. I like that. So why is it so important for people to design their life for 2021 as we come to a close in 2020?
Yes. So I know, like, this year was crazy year for us all. Year. It was just very so much uncertainty, like, no one expected this year to go how it went. But I think, it's so important to like reflect back, to look back, because there's so many lessons that I'm sure all of us can learn, we learned during this year of 2020. And I think it's so important to reflect, to think about everything, all the lessons you learn, like, and then to reflect and to think about what you want to create in 2021. And, when you have that foundation of, okay, where am I at currently, what could I have done better, that propels you to move into the new year with, with more purpose and more clarity.
I like that, and I like how you talked about reflection in this year.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't think about that. I know in 2020, a lot of people didn't see a lot of the pros in during the pandemic and during COVID. But as I really sat down and reflected on 2020, I realized that this year had a lot of blessings in it,
Yeah, for sure.
I got to work from home, and I realized how much freedom and flexibility that offered me, because, as Americans, we have this on-the-go lifestyle. We're constantly on the go. I started cooking more.
Yeah, that's amazing. I did too. I know.
Started cooking more, which is, of course, I'm eating healthier now. No more really fast food.
Right.
And I was really able to sit and think in my thoughts and get clarity over my life. So that's one of the things that I definitely reflect on and took from 2020.
Right.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So let me ask you, So could you walk us through the steps of how to set up the vision and create the life that you want?
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes to like, you know, setting goals and planning your vision for the new year, there's so many steps. I think for me, the best thing to do is to break it down by like categories. Like, you know, think about your health. Think about, okay, like your major categories, your health, your, you know, if you're an entrepreneur, like your business, or if you have a job, like where do you see yourself going, your relationships, like is there certain relationships that you want to, you know, maybe cultivate more, and you know, so really when you think of it that way, as far as like different categories, like, you know, your spiritual connection, like and really think about, okay, what do you desire in those areas in your life? Like, you know, in your health, do you desire to, you know, get fit this year? And then thinking about breaking it down and thinking to yourself, okay, well, if this is what I want, what is going to get me there? What are the actions that I have to take to really purposefully actually commit to this goal and take action towards it? So I think, just really committing yourself, getting clear about, you know, what it is that you desire, and really like thinking big. I think a lot of us sometimes we restrict ourselves because maybe, you know, we grew up in an environment where, you know, things were done a certain way, and then, you know, but so I truly believe like we all have a purpose, and like there's things that we're all meant to do in this world. And I think like what you just had said, like, you know, this year really, you know, if you took it, like it was a great year for self-reflection. To, you know, we were stuck at home, like, and hey, why not? Like, you know, you're being forced to be there and, like, you know, sit with your own thoughts. I'm like, you know, when it comes to 2021, I'm like, yeah, just have fun with the process of envisioning what do you want to create in all areas of your life, you know, just really being intentional. Use vision boards. I think, you know, I'm big into vision boards or journaling. I think one of the things is to, you know, sit down and like truly think about, okay, what do I desire? Like, what is my heart, my soul wanting for myself this year? And really just writing it down and like being really intentional and thinking to yourself, hey, like, this is my life. Like, you know, I can have whatever I want. You know, you just have to be clear about it and be very specific, you know, because I think one of the things sometimes when it comes to goal setting, like, we have a goal, but we're not very specific. So it's easy to kind of shy away from, okay, well, I had this goal, it didn't come true. But if you're very specific, and then having a strong, like, why, like, what's the reason you want to achieve this, you know, because when you have a strong why, like, it's gonna keep you motivated. You're gonna wake up each day like ready to, you know, go after those dreams. And you know, you're always gonna be self-motivated. You know,
I agree. And I like what you talked about, like creating a life you want, but categorizing. And I was going to talk about, when I think about that, I always put together a vision board. And so that's something that you you talked on. And my room is full with vision boards around it. And I thought, like, okay, I don't have the normal room like everyone else, but I know I'm going somewhere. So if I can see it in my room every day, if I can see the vision, it can come into action.
Yes, for
and
sure.
So that's how I see it. So definitely. Thank you for touching on that.
Definitely.
And so one more question. So what advice would you give someone who created a vision for 2020 and it was crushed due to the pandemic? How does that person pivot and reshift their thinking?
Yeah,
Because
that's
that
a
was
great
tough.
question.
You know, I've spoken to a lot of business owners, especially business owners and event planning. And so, you know, with the stay-at-home orders, you can't really plan events, so you're losing out on money, even hairstylists and barbers. So, you know, what do you say to someone?
Yeah, that's a great question, because, I believe that sometimes, it's so easy to, you know, our mind tends to go to the negative, like the things we didn't accomplish, all of the challenges. But I really believe you know, like I had mentioned before, there's always lessons to be learned, and in every challenge that you know, that we go through, there's always a lesson to be learned. And I think if you can take that, whatever, even if it was challenging, like there's something that you learn from that challenge, that hardship. So, and thinking to yourself, okay, like this is what 2020 was, and then really just thinking about, okay, well, this is what I've experienced, and let me make 2021 the best year ever. Like knowing that all the challenges, everything that happened, like starting afresh, you know, we can either stay stuck in the past or feeling sorry for ourselves, or staying stuck in the challenges, or we can look into like the future and take you know, 2021 with like intention and purpose, and feel like, okay, like let's do this, let's just, you know, give it our all, you know.
I like that. I like how you talked about taking it with intention and purpose. So I'm a person of action.
Yes.
So I like action steps. So
Yes.
could you give us 3 action steps that we can go home with and get started on? Whether that's start, you know, creating a vision board,
Right,
start
yes.
journaling more. Give us your top 3.
Yeah, I love that. So I would definitely say one of my steps would be to, even if you've never journaled or written down your goals, like I can't remember the percentage, but there's if you write down your goals, they're more likely to come true, because like something about writing down the, you know, seeing them, writing down on paper, it makes you more compelled to actually take the action.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. So then, so that would be one thing. Definitely journal, write down your goals, even if you feel silly, like writing things down. Because I've heard people say, "Oh, I've never done this before. It feels weird to me." But trust me, like once you get in the habit, it's amazing. And also, yes, like one thing I would say is really huge is, you know, getting together with like-minded people that are wanting to maybe have similar paths in your, you know, if you're wanting to better your marriage, you know, meet other couples that have a great marriage, or you know, whatever it is.
Because you attract what you are.
Yes, yes. So stay around like-minded people that are also excited about 2021. And then a third tip I would say would be, yes, definitely, you know, creating your vision board, because images, there's one thing, when you see an image, it implants the idea in your subconscious mind, and then you're more likely to attract those things. So if it's your ideal body, hey, like put your, you know, that ideal body in your vision board, or whatever it is, like you will tend to attract those things when you see it visually every day.
I agree. And I want to add one more thing, like words of affirmation are so powerful. Your words are powerful. So one thing I do every morning, I speak about 15 to 20 affirmations over my life when I wake up. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am funny. I am a strong, powerful entrepreneur. You know, those are things that I say about myself, and I feel it, you know what I mean? And I go through the day feeling good about myself. So I like those tips you gave. You said write down your things to do. That's what I do every morning, because when you write down those things and you're able to check them off, you feel accomplished about it.
Yeah, definitely.
You also mentioned connecting with like-minded people, which is really good. You feel really good when you can network and connect with people, and people who are relatable to you, and people who understand and on the same journey of life as you.
Yeah.
And your vision board, create the life you want. You have to see it before you can actually believe it, before it can come into fruition. So create that life you want. So yeah, so go home and design the life you want, and do great things. You know, be powerful, be bold, and, you know, step out on faith. And so this was so wonderful, Martha. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for teaching us how to design the life we want. So 2021, we are going to be fearless. And they say if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. So go out and do it. And so thank you for tuning in to The Influential Life. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode, because I'll be back with another one. See you soon.
Right.
Bye-bye. Hey there. Thank you for tuning into my show. I hope you enjoyed this episode about how you can redesign your life for a new year and really work on walking in your purpose. I truly believe we all have a purpose that we have to fulfill. We all have passions that we want to live out. But in order to do that, we must really tap into our own potential to make that happen. Some of us have fears that we've been holding on to. That's why we can't tap into our potential. We have these fears of what if? What if I do this and that doesn't happen? What if I quit my job but it doesn't work out how I want it to work? What if, what if, what if? But the biggest what if you don't do it? Then you will have the biggest regret in your life. And I don't want that. I want to teach you how to walk in your purpose and live your life with passion so you can be the person that you are destined to be. I would love for you to tune in next to this episode that teaches you how you can overcome your fears and help you walk into your purpose. I look forward to seeing you next week. Stay tuned and check out the next show. Bye-bye. This video is about helping petite women overcome our fears. What do we need to do as petite women to overcome those fears that we've always been having? Things that may have stemmed from our childhood. Maybe we was always the shortest person in class. Maybe we've been trying to move into a management role, but we don't feel quite qualified enough because we equate power with being tall and we equate tallness with authority. So how can we as petite women overcome those fears? But actuality, this video can actually apply to anyone because we all as human beings have fears. So if you're interested in overcoming your fears, listen up because I'll be giving you some great tips to help you get started. Tip number 1, be bold and do the opposite of whatever it is you may be fearing. For example, you may have a fear of heights. So if you do, why not start off with skydiving? Just take the initiative and do it. It sounds extreme, but no way better to get over your fears than to go straight through them and dive into it. So if you are that person who are afraid of heights, go ahead and skydiving. You don't necessarily have to jump out of a plane. You can start off with indoor skydiving. Small steps, baby steps, things that are attainable, things that are achievable, but make sure you do it. Do the opposite of whatever it is you're fearing. This will greatly increase your chances of not fearing that thing no more, but more like embracing it. Tip number 2, staying positive. I always talk about staying positive in a lot of my videos. And it's something that may seem like a small step, but it's actually an actionable step that actually helps change your life. Staying positive, speaking positive quotes, writing down quotes, reciting those quotes, maybe buying some wall art to put in your house, putting a positive quote on your phone or your computer, leaving a sticky note in the bathroom for yourself. But staying positive will definitely help you overcome your fears. You want to uplift yourself with any type of words that will help you overcome your fears. I would suggest maybe writing down a quote of the opposite fear that you have. So you may have a fear of applying for a management position at your job. So you will write down a quote like, I am qualified for XYZ position at my job. I am preparing myself to move into that role. I am smart. I am wise. I can go into that position. I will do a good job once I get into that position. So speaking positive quotes, positive affirmations over your life will definitely help extremely. Tip number 3 and my final tip is, ladies, do not be afraid to fail. Failure is only negative thoughts that we let sneak into our minds. If we don't put ourselves out there, we will never know what's on the other side of the road, what's always on the other side of the pond. So make sure you not let failure hinder you from being great. Failure is also not good for your mental health. So if it's something that you've been wanting to do, but you've been scared of failing, like maybe you want to move to a different city, but if you think if you go to that city, you won't succeed, or you won't find a job, or it just won't work out for you. You're afraid of leaving your family. I would say just do it. If you're living in Washington, D.C., and it's getting too cold out there, you're tired of the D.C., it's very expensive, and you've been wanting to move down south, why not do it? Why not pack up and move to Dallas? People who let their fears control them, they live their lives in anxiety and even depression. So if you've been thinking about taking that international trip to Bali, but you're afraid of going to another country, or you're afraid of riding on an airplane, you have a fear of that. But if you don't ever try it, you will never know. So you have to get over your fears and not be afraid. Oprah Winfrey once said, failure is only a stepping stone to greatness, and queens are not afraid to fail. So I encourage you to go out there, be bold, step out on faith. Don't be afraid to fail, and try your best to get over your fears, because it will only lead you into your destination, into the things that you want to do in life. You'll eventually find your passions and things that you're good at, and just do it. For sponsorship opportunities or opportunities about how you can be a part of the show, please send an email to info@influentialpetite.com. That's info@influentialpetite.com. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.